Koi Koi has returned.
10 years ago, Teacher Ada of Our Lady of Agnes Girls Secondary School was used for ritual. But the ritual was incomplete, and so her spirit could not rest in peace, and that was how she became Madam Koi Koi. After the ritual, she tormented girls and teachers in different boarding schools in Nigeria. Students always heard her footsteps at night. When Teacher Livinus heard that students were claiming to see Teacher Ada, but now in a very scary form, he acted fast. Teacher Livinus, the teacher who gave Teacher Ada to the occult people, ran back to them and told them that the spirit of Teacher Ada was tormenting the school and that a teacher had even died. The occult people said, "Yes, now Teacher Livinus, we all know her spirit will not rest in peace. We needed a pair of shoes. Instead, we got only one leg of her shoe." Teacher Livinus answered and said, "Yes, I know, but she's tormenting the school. A teacher is dead." The occult people froze. The spirit is now killing people. They knew it was a problem, so they decided to tame her spirit. They took her picture and hair that were used for the ritual and performed another ritual on them. After that, they agreed to bury the hair and picture in a bush where nobody could find it, because if anybody ever dug the picture and the hair out, the spirit would be free again. After the burial, Madam Koi Koi's spirit was tamed. Nobody ever heard her shoe coming again. Now 10 years had passed. Teacher Livinus was now the school's principal, and he was very rich as he continued his secret dealings with the ritual groups. He continued kidnapping girls and handing them over to the occult groups. All the girls who knew Teacher Ada had left the school, and new teachers were now in the school. The occult group and Teacher Livinus believed that they had silenced Madam Koi Koi, so they relaxed. Our Lady of Agnes Girls Secondary School slowly became a place of bad behavior. Teachers were engaging in serious misconduct with students. Students were jumping the fence at night to meet men outside the school. Teacher Livinus often summoned students to his office at night in false pretenses. He had also recruited another teacher, Mr. Daniel, who now assisted him in secretly handing girls over to the occult group. Everything appeared to be going well for them until an NYSC copper arrived at the school. Copper Peace was a disciplined young woman. When she arrived at the school and saw what was going on, she was shocked. She began enforcing the school's rules strictly. She punished girls who jumped the fence and warned them against getting involved with much older men at such a young age. Her actions did not go unnoticed. Mr. Daniel reported everything Copper Peace was doing to Principal Livinus. Principal Livinus was very angry. He said, this girl is playing with fire. She does not know what I did to that oversabi teacher, Teacher Ada. Mr. Daniel asked him, what should we do to her? Should we hand her over to the occult group? Principal Livinus replied, no, she be government speaking. She's a government copper. If we try that and she goes missing, it will make the news, but we can deal with her in our own way. Principal Livinus then placed Copper Peace on duty on Saturday. He told her that she must carry out her final round of inspection by 9 p.m. at night. That same night, he and Mr. Daniel planned to attack Copper Peace. As expected, Copper Peace went out for her inspection. Suddenly, two masked men grabbed her and dragged her into the classroom. Just as they were about to begin, they started hearing a sound. Coin, coin, coin. They paused. One of them asked, "Who is that? Was anyone with you?" She said no, but she could hear the sound too. She heard the sound of the shoe. Coin, coin, coin. Suddenly, the classroom door opened. They first saw the red shoe, then they saw her. Madam Koi Koi was back. For a few seconds, all of them felt like their heads were swelling. They felt like something unusual was happening. Madam Koi Koi raised her hands, and Mr. Daniel, still masked, started floating in the air, holding his neck. Principal Livinus and Mr. Daniel could see Madam Koi Koi, but Copper Peace could not see her. But she knew a spirit was present. Her head felt so heavy. Principal Livinus, still masked, gathered his last strength and ran away. Madam Koi Koi lowered her hands. Mr. Daniel fell to the ground immediately. She turned and left. Copper Peace stood there in shock. She kept wondering, what just happened? How did he start floating? Why was Mr. Daniel the only one hand? What just happened? She ran away quickly, not wanting to be found near Mr. Daniel's lifeless body. Madam Koi Koi does not harm innocent people. She only scares them. For a few seconds, people will feel like their heads are swelling, and they would hear the sound of her shoe coming. Coin, coin, coin. Also, if you did not know Teacher Ada before she became Madam Koin, you can never see her. If you see her and you never knew her, then it means you are an evil person. The next morning, Mr. Daniel's body was found. Students said they heard something coming at night. Coin, coin, coin. Some students also say they felt like their heads were swelling for a few seconds. Copper Peace was shocked. She was so traumatized that she went to her LGI and requested a PPA change, stating the death of Mr. Daniel as her reason. Principal Livinus was the only person who truly understood what had happened. He kept asking himself, Madam Koin is back. I thought we tamed her spirit. What is happening? 10 years had already passed since Teacher Ada became Madam Koin, and some of the occult members who used Teacher Ada for ritual were no longer alive. Principal Livinus ran to the 3 surviving occult members and told them, she is back oh. They asked, who? He replied, Teacher Ada, she is now Madam Koin. He told them what happened to Mr. Daniel and how he witnessed it with his own eyes. The occult members were shocked. They knew this was a serious problem. They knew Madam Koin would come for them too. The occult members quickly drove to the bush where they had buried Teacher Ada's picture and hair so they could retrieve it and repeat the ritual to tame her spirit. But when they got there, they discovered that a new manufacturing company had acquired the land and had already begun construction of a new industry. It was during the construction that the buried items were dug out. The occult members approached the workers and asked them, did you see any picture or hair here? The workers looked at them in shock and asked, why are you looking for a picture in a place like this? One of the occult members then paid the workers 20,000 naira each and told them to inform him if they saw any picture or hair. The workers later said, yes, we saw a picture, but we did not know it was useful. We don't even know where it is now, but we did not see any hair. The occult people told them to call immediately if they found either the picture or the hair. The workers agreed, but the workers never found the picture again, and no hair was ever seen. The occult people became a little disturbed, but Teacher Livinus was very disturbed and worried. He became extremely careful. He started leaving school as early as 3 p.m. and refused to stay outside at night. In the school, students were always rumoring about how they kept hearing coin, coin, coin at night as if someone was coming. One night, a group of girls planned to jump the fence to meet men outside the school. As they got to the part of the fence where they were supposed to jump from, they suddenly started hearing coin, coin, coin. For a few seconds, they felt like their heads were swelling. They did not see Madam Koin, but they felt her presence. Immediately, they ran back to the dormitory shouting, Madam Koin is coming! Girls who were outside the dormitory ran back inside immediately. Everybody was scared. Girls became afraid of doing the wrong thing. Some girls stopped jumping the fence, and even teachers stopped asking girls out, especially at night. Despite being a ghost, Madam Koin was still enforcing discipline, but Madam Koin was yet to fully revenge her death. Since Teacher Livinus stopped staying in the school at night, Madam Koin had to find him at his house. One night, she left Our Lady of Agnes Secondary School. That night, students and security men heard the sound of her shoe. Coin, 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 but nobody saw her. That same night, Principal Livinus was at home with his wife and children. There was no electricity, so he went outside to start the generator. Immediately he opened the back door. His head started feeling like it was swelling. His head felt heavy. He knew something was wrong. This was exactly the same way he felt the night he saw Madam Koin, the night Mr. Daniel died. As he raised his head, he saw her. Madam Koin was standing there. Suddenly, Madam Koin raised her hands and he started floating, holding his neck. When she lowered her hands, he fell to the ground. Then she left. The next night, the 3 surviving occult members went out partying with girls. They did not take it seriously that Madam Koin was back. They believed the workers they had paid would eventually find the picture and hair. They had never seen Madam Koin before, and they did not fully understand how serious the situation was. They believed that Principal Livinus was just overreacting. They were almost confident that they were safe. They also did not know that Principal Livinus was already dead. After partying, they started heading home. It was 3 p.m. The road was almost empty. Chief Maduka was driving, while the other 2 men sat behind. Suddenly, they saw a figure on the road. Chief Maduka stops the vehicle abruptly. Immediately, all of them started feeling like their heads were heavy and swelling. They managed to come out of the vehicle. Madam Koin Koin raised her hand. All 3 men started floating, each holding his neck. When she lowered her hand, they all fell. Madam Koin Koin had successfully avenged the death of Teacher Ada, but she was still a roaming spirit, a spirit who could not rest, a sad spirit. Madam Koin Koin only harmed the people involved in her death to revenge. She never harms anybody again. Madam Koin Koin began roaming from one boarding school to another. She eventually arrived at Federal Girls College. Every night, girls heard coin, coin, coin. She made girls afraid of being outside at night. Amaka, the girl whom Teacher Ada had protected from Teacher Livinus 10 years earlier, was now a teacher at Federal Girls College. One night, while she was on inspection, she started hearing coin, coin, coin. She paused. The sound of the shoe reminded her of Teacher Ada. She remembered how Teacher Ada went missing some months after she and other girls had given her details about missing girls. She did not see Madam Koin Koin at first, but when she continued hearing the sound and her head felt like it was swelling for a short time, she raised her head and then she saw the figure. She recognized the outfit from 10 years ago. The figure, Madam Koin Koin, stopped, looked at her and walked away. Coin, coin, coin. When Amaka recovered, she was in shock. She said to herself, "That outfit, I remember Teacher Ada wearing that outfit the last day I saw her. I remember the shoe too." She was shocked, but she smiled and said, "Wow, Teacher Ada is still on duty." From that day, Teacher Amaka always warned the girls, "Make sure you are in your dormitory after lights out, else Madam Koin Koin will come for you." When school closed for the term, girls of Our Lady of Agnes Girls Secondary School returned home and told their day school friends everything that had happened. Bridget, one of the girls from Our Lady of Agnes, was happy that school had closed. The next Sunday, when she went to church, she told her friend Alice, who attended Federal Girls College, how they always heard coin, coin, coin at night and how their heads would feel like it was swelling. Alice was so excited that someone outside her school could relate. She told Bridget, "We experienced the same thing too. We always hear coin, coin, coin at night. We call her Madam Koin Koin, but we have never seen her." Together, they asked other girls from different boarding schools if they had also heard Madam Koin Koin coming. The girls confirmed it. Even the girls from other schools said they had heard the same sound, coin, coin, coin. Day school students also heard the stories, but they never truly understand how serious it was, because you only understand how serious it is when you hear coin, coin, coin at night, or even worse, when you hear other students shouting, "Madam Koin Koin is coming!"